Hello everyone, it's Friday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Obiajulu Olabisi Ubu, and with me are the ladies. Hello Miriam Longe. What's up? What's going on?
I'm fine, thank you. So the other day, the Uber I got on, I got talking with the driver, and I don't know how it got personal real quick, you know, and he was just talking about his struggles. He's a young boy who's trying to, you know, live in Nigeria with the hard times, and he was just saying to me how, okay, he's a chef.
Okay.
He does like, you know, catering and stuff like that, but he's also doing Uber on the side. He talked about how he, you know, his father is not in the picture. He's taking care of, making sure his sister went to school. He had to drop out so that she could go to school. He's paying for the younger ones, you know. He talked about the sacrifices his mother, you know, has made over the years for them. And he started crying. He says, I've seen my mom hawk food on the road, you know, to provide for me. And so now, whatever I can do, you know. So I was saying to him, I said, how did you not get tempted, you know? I mean, we hear every time young Nigerian boys that do all sorts of work. He said, I got tempted. He said, there were times where I didn't have places to stay, so I had to squat with people. And, you know, they were doing these things, and I joined them. But, you know, with this fraud, you ask questions of somebody, sorry, time, right? You have questions of, you know, how you send them requests for money, and the person that was supposed to send money to him was saying that this was her bill for her son's hospital, whatever. Wow. He just could not bring himself to do it. And he says the person that squatted him threw him out of the house because he couldn't do that. And he eventually got arrested. He says, but he's doing Uber, he's proud, he's happy, and he's hoping for the best. And I was like, I pray, you see, this your hard work is you're building for the future. Yeah. Sorry, I took all the time. It was just such a, you know, good moment. Yeah.
How you doing, Ramatu?
I'm doing well. So the kids went back to school the day before yesterday. The house is boring somehow, despite all my style.
As if you're not stylishly happy.
All
that
this,
the house
no, I'm not happy. All the style I did so that my husband would leave them till Sunday. That guy.
He did not answer you.
Carried them early in the morning. He said, all of you dress up. Oh, yeah, start going. I know I was really down. But the house is so boring. But we're used to it already. Then secondly, the economy. Yesterday, I had meetings with my staff. We're trying to fix prices because of the price of things, the way it has gone up. The economy is just not, the strategies are not strategizing at all. They are not working.
You're not the only
we don't even know how we're going to move on from here. So just make
I hope
it
well. How you doing, Top Boy? Mark Adige.
I'm doing well. Grateful to God. Well, I concerning the economy, I watched a video yesterday where a lady was saying that you shouldn't don't blame yourself or blame your staff for the challenges that are beyond your control. And currently, the economic challenges are beyond your control. Your job is to focus on what's within your control, the things within your reach. That's how you feel, how you respond to the challenges. That's within your reach. What the challenges the economy you cannot respond to it. The dollar will be dollar, price of food will be price of food.
Yeah.
When you reach there, don't be shocked and start crying. Just say, oh, okay, so this is it. And we'll just buy 2 tomatoes instead of 10 tomatoes we want to buy, and then we move on. That's just it. My book is out. So I've been bringing this since I brought it yesterday. I didn't remember to bring it out from my bag. So this morning, I was just so happy that as I opened my phone, somebody was like, send me the link to order.
You now remembered.
And I remember when we get the book and show it off on television.
Congratulations, darling.
It's been a long time.
We're coming.
So,
well done.
Yeah, it's finally out. Thank you.
Such a big book.
It is. I'm scared. Because what did you put inside?
We need to study. It's for studying, right?
It's a study. There's
Hey,
action
God.
plan behind every chapter.
We will now have a book by the side where you're jotting things that you're learning. Is that the kind of book you wrote? Stop, babe. Please don't stress me.
You have to act on what you are learning. And
Yeah,
I really want
well
to be
done.
like a money manual.
So you can't tell us how much the book
Well
costs.
done.
I can tell you now.
Yeah. Because I'm taking this one now.
Hey.
20K, baby.
I'm taking this one today. Yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I'm working hard. People are seeing, you know, I'm warning everybody I'm working hard because I'll rest hard when I'm done. Our sales are going to be starting on Monday, and we're running the sales till the end of the month. And we're slashing down prices like I always do when I do my sales for outfits, for skincare, and for hair. So please, you go on my page, send me a DM and buy my kits. I don't want to pack my things and go back to the village. Help your sister, okay? See, I don't used to beg you people money. I don't want to ever beg you people money, so I'm hustling. So please, you know, come shop and support my business. Let's take a short break now. When we come back, we do the newspaper reviews. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right
with us. Let's start the newspaper reviews with The Nation. Major headline: Court nullifies Sanusi's return as Emir of Kano. Court voids 33 Ondo local government areas. Judgment anti-people. $550 million Ubeta project will boost gas market, says federal government. Why I faulted police recruitment by IG. 21 deaths in 401 Lagos cholera cases. Abiodun allocates farmlands to Ogun lawmakers to enhance food security. What stories do we have in The Nation?
Yeah, I have the major headline. That's the Sanusi, court nullifies Sanusi's return as Emir of Kano. And we all know that the emirs, they've been having issues, and because of that, during the Salah, even that our major Hawan Daba didn't even happen because of the clash between the two. So a ruling by the Federal High Court in Kano sank the emirate into more turmoil yesterday. Justice Muhammad Liman nullified the reinstatement of Muhammad Sanusi as the 16th Emir of Kano. While the judge did not invalidate the Kano Emirate Council, he held that actions taken so far on its basis were null and void due to the state government's failure to maintain the status quo as he ordered. But the state government swiftly interpreted the order to be in its favor. We all know that the governor reinstated Muhammad Sanusi as the Emir, and then he removed Bayero. They said he forcefully removed Bayero. And also he slammed them. The judge slammed the state government for defying the order. And then, meanwhile, the governor on May 23rd abolished 4 new emirates, Bichi, Karai, Rano, and Gaya, which were created by the immediate past administration of Abdullahi Ganduje. So this fight is between Ganduje and the present governor, kind of, and then Sanusi is coming into play and everything. So, but the governor, the judge finally said, I'm convinced that the respondents are aware of the order of maintaining status quo pending the hearing and determination of the motions on notice in the court.
They are waiting now.
Having been satisfied that the respondents are aware of the court, in the exercise of its powers hereby sets aside all actions taken in violation of the order. So now, they have now decided that Sanusi is now the emir of Kano now, and then all other, the Ado, and then those 4 have now been abolished.
Oh, okay.
So they said
at least
there
for
should
now.
be peace. Yes, for now, there should be peace in Kano State.
Okay. Yeah. What other stories?
I've got the cholera story, and unfortunately, they say the number of deaths from cholera has increased from 15 to 21 in Lagos State. They said that the cases of infections has also increased from 350 to 401. We have the special advisor to the Lagos State Governor on Health, Dr. Kemi Ogunyemi. She says that a lot of this had to do with the large gatherings during the Eid, and so that's why we're seeing that in the numbers. But they said that there hasn't been a lot of, suspected cases haven't been increasing amongst the local government areas, and they think it's because of government interventions that's been happening already. So they're, as we know, they're already, there's huge campaigns. We've been hearing about what we're meant to do and things like that. They also say they have intensified surveillance activities in communities, particularly those local governments that have been affected. They're constantly also collecting samples from food, beverages, water, just to be able so that they can identify the sources of the contamination. We have, in Imo State, the House of Assembly has passed a motion that's calling the Ministry of Health to embark on massive awareness so that, to ensure that, they say this is beyond just making the health ministry aware of it, but ensure that there are massive campaigns on the outbreak, and that these campaigns are carried out in the local government areas across the state through all social media platforms so that people are aware of what to do. In Cross River State as well, they have activated an emergency response team that will respond to any threat of cholera outbreak in the state. So, all states seem to be on alert of what's happening. And then we hope, we call this quickly before it becomes much worse than it already is. Too many lives have already been lost to cholera. We shouldn't be losing lives to cholera in 2024. Honestly, it's really sad.
Have a story?
So, yes, I'm taking the story about Dapo Abiodun, the governor of Ogun State, has said that in fulfilling the renewed hope agenda, he has given the 25 House of Assembly members farmland, so that they will contribute to the agricultural goals of Ogun State. So the 25 House of Assembly members, marking the 10th year of the 10th year anniversary of the legislature, the first year of this particular assembly, they've all been given farmland. They are expected by the governor that they would invest into agriculture, and it would help to fulfill the desire to make Ogun State the food basket, and that their contributions will make Ogun State be able to eat what they grow and grow on what they eat. And I think it's at first I felt like, no, why don't you support farmers by giving them more tools to do their farming process
on a larger scale.
But maybe by giving people that have money land and ensuring that they actually invest into it, we might see more farmlands. A lot of our military men back in the days have massive farmland, and it helped our agricultural goals as a country. So I'm hoping that we'll be seeing 25 massive farms in Ogun State that will be providing food for the people of Ogun State.
I even want to learn how to plant yams in my house. I've just not had time, but I'll
Yes,
settle down
planting
in
tomatoes.
bags, yes, in my house, so that at least I can. A tube of yam is 5,000 naira.
Yes.
Very chekele yam like
Small,
that. Quickly.
short.
Ondo State High Court sitting in Akure yesterday scrapped the 33 local council development areas, that's the LCDAs, created by the administration of the late former governor, Oluwarotimi Akeredolu. I said the creation was unconstitutional and illegal. Now, the presiding judge, Justice A.O. Adebusoye, said the LCDAs were not lawfully created. The judge described the LCDAs as inchoate and not lawfully created. And he said that it's illegal for a governor to sign a law outside the state. He said the Local Government Creation Law 2023, signed by the late Akeredolu in Ibadan, outside the state was unconstitutional, illegal, null, and void. And September 9, 2023, that Akeredolu assented to the bill creating those three local governments. Now, the bill for the creation of the LCDAs was presented to the late governor by the Speaker of the House of Assembly, Chief Adedeji Adeleke, during a ceremony at the governor's home in Ibadan. But the governorship candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Agbola Ajayi, condemned the judgment. He said it was anti-people and will hinder the development of Ondo communities, that they want a situation where the government is closer to the people.
Yeah.
And now scrapping those local government areas in that place will just, will increase the layers of government, and people are not able to reach their leaders, for development. Let's see if we have time. Okay, we'll take a short break now. When we come back, the newspaper reviews continue. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
With us. Let's start the newspaper reviews with The Nation. Major headline: Court nullifies Sanusi's return as Emir of Kano. Court voids 33 Ondo local government areas. Judgment anti-people. $550 million with better project will boost gas market, says federal government. Why I faulted police recruitment by IG. 21 deaths in 401 Lagos cholera cases. Abiodun allocates farmlands to Ogun lawmakers to enhance food security. What stories do we have in The Nation?
Yeah, I have the major headline. That's the Sanusi, court nullifies Sanusi's return as Emir of Kano. And we all know that the Emirs, they've been having issues, and because of that, during the Salah, even that our major Hawan Daba didn't even happen because of the clash between the two. So a ruling by the Federal High Court in Kano sank the Emirate into more turmoil yesterday. Justice Muhammad Liman nullified the reinstatement of Muhammad Sanusi as the 16th Emir of Kano. While the judge did not invalidate the Kano Emirate Council, he held that actions taken so far on its basis were null and void due to the state government's failure to maintain the status quo as he ordered. But the state government swiftly interpreted the order to be in its favor. We all know that the governor reinstated Muhammad Sanusi as the Emir, and then he removed Bayero. They said he forcefully removed Bayero, and also he slammed them. The judge slammed the state government for defying the order. And then, meanwhile, the governor on May 23rd abolished 4 new emirates, Bichi, Arai, Rano, and Gaya, which were created by the immediate past administration of Abdullahi Ganduje. So this fight is between DJ and the present
Power
governor,
play.
kind of, and then Sanusi is coming into play and everything. So, but the governor, the judge finally said, I'm convinced that the respondents are aware of the order of maintaining status quo pending the hearing and determination of the motions on notice in the court.
We are waiting now.
Having been satisfied that the respondents are aware of the court in the exercise of its powers hereby sets aside all actions taken in violation of the order. So now, they have now decided that Sanusi is now the emir of Kano now, and then all other, the Ado and then those four have now been abolished.
Oh, okay.
So they said
At least
there
for
should
now.
be peace. Yes, for now there should be peace in Kano State.
Okay. What are the stories?
I've got the cholera story, and unfortunately, they say the number of deaths from cholera has increased from 15 to 21 in Lagos State. They said that the cases of infections has also increased from 350 to 401. We have the special advisor to the Lagos State Governor on Health, Dr. Kemi Ogunyemi. She says that a lot of this had to do with the large gatherings during the Eid, and so that's why we're seeing that in the numbers. But they said that there hasn't been a lot of, suspected cases haven't been increasing amongst the local government areas, and they think it's because of government interventions that's been happening already. So they're, as we know, there's huge campaigns. We've been hearing about it, what we're meant to do, and things like that. They also say they have intensified surveillance activities in communities, particularly those local governments that have been affected. They're constantly also collecting samples from food, beverages, water, just to be able so that they can identify the sources of the contamination. We have in Imo State, the House of Assembly has passed a motion that's calling the Ministry of Health to embark on massive awareness so that, to ensure that, they say this is beyond just making the health ministry aware of it, but ensure that there are massive campaigns on the outbreak, and that these campaigns are carried out in the local government areas across the state through all social media platforms so that people are aware of what to do. In Cross River State as well, they have activated an emergency response team that will respond to any threat of cholera outbreak in the state. So, all states seem to be on alert of what's happening. And then we hope, we call this quickly before it becomes much worse than it already is. Too many lives have already been lost to cholera. We shouldn't be losing lives to cholera in 2024. Honestly, it's really sad.
Have a story?
So yes, I'm taking the story about Dapo Abiodun, the governor of Ogun State, has said that in fulfilling the renewed hope agenda, he has given the 25 House of Assembly members farmland, so that they will contribute to the agricultural goals of Ogun State. So the 25 House of Assembly members, marking the 10th year of the 10th year anniversary of the legislature, the first year of this particular assembly, they've all been given farmland. They are expected by the governor that they would invest into agriculture, and it would help to fulfill the desire to make Ogun State the food basket, and that their contributions will make Ogun State be able to eat what they grow and grow on what they eat. And I think it's at first I felt like, no, why don't you support farmers by giving them more tools to do their farming process
on a larger scale? But
maybe by giving people that have money land and ensuring that they actually invest into it, we might see more farmlands. A lot of our military men back in the days have massive farmland, and it helped our agricultural goals as a country. So I'm hoping that we'll be seeing 25 massive farms in Ogun State that will be providing food for the people of Ogun State.
I even want to learn how to plant yams in my house. I've just not had time, but I'll
yes,
settle down
planting
in
tomatoes.
bags, yes, in my house, so that at least I can. A tube of yam is 5,000 naira.
Yes.
Very chekele yam like
Small,
that. Quickly.
short.
Ondo State High Court sitting in Akure yesterday scrapped the 33 local council development areas, that's the LCDAs, created by the administration of the late former governor, Oluwarotimi Akeredolu. I said the creation was unconstitutional and illegal. Now, the presiding judge, Justice A.O. Adebusoye, said the LCDAs were not lawfully created. The judge described the LCDAs as inchoate and not lawfully created. And he said that it's illegal for a governor to sign a law outside the state He said the Local Government Creation Law 2023 signed by the late Akeredolu in Ibadan outside the state was unconstitutional, illegal, null, and void. And September 9, 2023, he also, that's Akeredolu, assented to the bill creating those 3 local governments. Now, the bill for the creation of the LCDAs was presented to the late governor by the Speaker of the House of Assembly, Chief Adedeji Adeleke, during a ceremony at the governor's home in Ibadan. But the governorship candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Agbola Ajayi, condemned the judgment. He said it was anti-people and will hinder the development of Ondo communities, that they want a situation where the government is closer to the people.
Yeah.
And now scrapping those local government areas in that place would just, yes, will increase the layers of government, and people are not able to reach their leaders, you know, for development. Let's see if we have time. Okay, we'll take a short break now. When we come back, the newspaper reviews continue. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Welcome back. We are moving on to the Punch. Major headline: cholera. Death toll rises to 37 as Lagos records 401 cases. We've taken that story. Federal government probes 2.7 trillion naira subsidy debts and lists Auditor General. Naira slump loan push public debt to 121 trillion naira, the DMO. Protesters demand El-Rufai's trial for alleged 423 billion naira theft. Lagos APC mourns member as Hajj debt cross 1,000. Otedola raises FBNH stake with over 18 billion naira shares. Now, what stories do we have in the Punch?
Federal government has begun the 2.7 trillion subsidy debt probe. So they say the federal government employed the services of KPMG to conduct an initial audit of 6 trillion owed to NNPCL as claimed by them. And, you know, from that audit, they had reduced the claims from 6 trillion to 2.7 trillion. Anyways, let me just give you a little background. They said on May 30th, we remember, hours after the subsidy gone declaration by the president, we had NNPCL Group Chief Executive Officer Mele Kyari. He had said that NNPCL had footed petrol subsidy bills from its own cash flow, and that so far government has been unable to pay back the 2.8 trillion. And so that was when government now decided to audit, and they say that that they've had a meeting, they had a FAC meeting, and so from the result of that meeting, they will let us know what they have come up with. But first of all, the initial claims of 6 trillion has been reduced to 2.7. So they will do all that audit, and then we'll find out exactly how much is owed NNPCL. And then government needs to also start discussing how they would pay back for that. So forensic audit is going on.
I don't believe they are owing them.
Economy. Just
Wow.
leave that
Which other
story.
stories do we have?
So I have the Lagos APC Mons member as Hajj debts cross 1,000. Allah Seriki, the Lagos chapter of APC has described the death of Welfare Secretary Alhaja Ramota Bankole as unfortunate and shocking. So yeah, when you go for Hajj, the heat, they said the heat there was so much, and you know, they give visas to a lot of people. There are a lot of people that come together.
It's very crowded.
I remember when I went, for Hajj, my legs were practically not touching, they were not touching the ground. I was walking, like, I'm telling you, because of how, you know, crowded the place is and all. So, yes, they are describing her death, and it's unfortunate. May her soul rest in gentle.
Amen. So, you have a story?
Yes, I have the story of FUNAB students protesting the death of their colleagues. So the stories inside the papers, Ayodele, who died, his death has led many of his fellow students to storm the campus on Thursday, and they were demonstrating over the fact that the medical center within the school is not in good condition. Some of the students spoke on condition of anonymity, said that the deceased treatment was delayed by the healthcare officer on duty because they could not provide identity card, said that the protest was, they are staging this protest to advocate a better structure and restructure the healthcare system on campus, said the staff are negligent and their attitude is very irritating, that they will not attend to emergencies, that the boy got there at 1 p.m., but he didn't get any treatment until 6:50. He was proclaimed dead by 10 p.m. that same day, and it was because he didn't take his ID card along, yet it was an emergency situation, and that they're advocating for change. That this is the third time it is happening, that it's been reoccurring, that people will be, that the negligence and poor service being rendered within the university, that's FUNAB, has led to loss of lives, and the school students are protesting that they want to protest against this poor service. They want Ayodele's death to signify a major change in how they will be taking care of that. He was unconscious when he was taken to the hospital. You're asking someone that is unconscious, not feeling too well, that he should bring his ID card. Where his friend supposed to bring his ID card, and then
this thing is
later
very
they found out that it was dead because the treatment didn't come in time. So
first, the friends can go back and want to look for his ID card. Why we?
They might also feel concerned that some other young people are coming into the school to get treated without being students of the school. But
that's
your
not
job is
the
to treat
case.
people,
Yes,
you know, just
but
to
also,
treat
you know,
people.
recently there's a friend of mine, there's a case where they took someone who was stabbed to the hospital, and nobody has been able to pay the bill. So he's in the hospital. The hospital has treated him.
But
nobody's
can.
coming to pay the bill.
bills.
So this is what the hospital feel like they have to deal with all the time. But please,
Life first.
life first.
Yes.
Okay, let's move on now to the Vanguard. Major headline, cholera, we've taken that. Death toll hits 21 in Lagos, 401 cases recorded. Rivers crisis, siege to local government areas won't deter us, for Bara. Insecurity, jihadists flooding Nigeria through Benin Republic. 423 billion naira indictment. Protesters march in Kaduna want EFCC's probe of El Rufai. Kano government kicks as court removes Sanusi Emir. Federal government seeks 18-month extension of $800 million World Bank palliative scheme. What stories do we have in the Vanguard? So I took a story inside. That's the Kaduna police. They said the police operatives in Kaduna State have arrested 5 notorious kidnapping suspects, a suspected car thief, and recovered a Toyota Land Cruiser. The State Commissioner of Police has ordered continued clampdown on kidnappers and their informants in the state. The spokesperson of the State Police Command, Mansir Hassan, in a statement yesterday said that about 6:10 p.m., the divisional police officers, DP of the Maigana, received an intelligence from a concerned citizen regarding a group of kidnappers planning to collect ransom money from the relatives of their victim. So they acted swiftly and mobilized the patrol team and some members of the local vigilante group to the location. The operation resulted in successful arrest of the suspects, and they mentioned their names: Shuaibu Bala, 23 years old, from Malanta Gimba village. Another guy, Musa, 22 years old, male, from Bugal village. And, you know, during the interrogation, they said they confessed to the crime, and investigations are ongoing to apprehend other members of their gang. Also, in continuation of the ongoing clampdown on kidnappers and their informants within Kaduna State, they also achieved another significant breakthrough. This was the 17th of June. It said they acted on credible intelligence received by the DPO of Tafa, and they said some kidnappers were sighted roaming around Tafa town. So about, I think, 7 p.m., the DPO mobilized his men and surveillance team. They went into the place with the Joint Task Force of Tafa, and they were able to apprehend 3 suspected kidnappers. They brought them to the station. They may also mention their names: Sani Amadu, male, 17 years, Sani Lawal, 20 years, Aliyu Usman, 22 years. So I mentioned their ages for us to understand how things have really degenerated. These are young people who should be in school.
Yes. Honestly, they should also start arresting bandits that are disturbing the tomatoes, pepper, and everything.
I need to take the story of teenager protesting against sexual harassment in Ogun State. So it's within the papers where teenagers between 11 and 17 years in the Magboro, Obafemi Owode local government area of Ogun State. Preteens and teens protested that sexual harassment is not a compliment. That when they are walking the streets, men would grab them, pull them, and this is not a form of compliment. And I remember this happening to me as
Growing
well.
up.
It was a norm when if you are on the street, boys and men would touch you. And he said that the organizer of this particular protest was saying that the reason they're doing it is because he has gotten a lot of feedback from girls within that area that they are not free to walk. So they wore white T-shirts and were working to say that the government needs to step up and speak against this and even find a way to deter people, boys, men on the streets from touching. You know, there must be a punishment because harassment. How do we process harassment against people on the streets? If you are very voluptuous in terms of shape, you are more prone to that attack and harassment. Please, let's do something about this.
Do we have stories in the Tribune?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so let me quickly take the stories we haven't taken. Court nullifies creation of 33 local government areas in Ondo State. We've taken that. Government kidnap pregnant woman in Ogun. We've taken that. SANU NASU give federal government 2 weeks to pay 4 months with health salaries. Is that what you have?
Yes, that's what I have. So the Joint Action Committee of the Non-Academic Staff Union of Educational and Associated Institutions, NASU, SANU, have threatened that they will shut down universities and inter-university centers if the government fails to pay their withheld salaries at the expiration of the 2 weeks ultimatum they have sent. They said that they wish to express their regret and dismay that up till date their salaries have been withheld, not paid to their members, and there's been a silence. You know, nothing has been said, it's just silence. So from the stories that they've been, you know, they've had series of meetings back and forth, agreements, whatever, and then silence. And so they view this as an act of insincerity and neglect on the part of government. And that, you know, this has been causing lots of contention amongst them, you know. You know how we can be now. Somebody don't chop money, that's why. You know? And so they're asking that immediate payment of 4 months' salary that has been withheld to their members to be paid within 2 weeks from the date of this particular letter. And if nothing is done at the expiration of their ultimatum, they're shutting down universities and inter-university centers. Yes, they are not ASU, but we know how important their role is at the universities. So please, listen to them and pay them their money. What's happening?
All right, ladies, that's all we can take on the newspaper reviews. When we return, we look into the top stories of today. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So we have a message from YK. She's watching the show this morning.
Okay, she says, ladies, I want to talk from personal experience. I hope you can read this.
Yeah, read it.
I have said
Just share the story here.
I've said it on the show several times. I wanted to battle my ex till my lawyer spoke to me. He said, and I quote, "A child is not a chattel." So I came down from my high horse and went to appeal to my ex. We came to a compromise. It wasn't easy, but each time we wanted to fight, one of us would come down and think of the child. The child is a human being and deserves the best from both parents. Let both parents think of the child.
Yeah,
True.
amazing. So I personally feel that when you put the child's needs first, there are some things that you will not fight over. Even when you feel like it's not coming, you can hold space for your partner, for your other partner, till they are able to realize themselves, right? So instead of going all out, full blown, no, I no go gree, I no go gree. I no go gree, I no go gree. You now understand that this person is not there mentally, emotionally, where I expected him to be. Because before you open leg, you suppose don't expect you and the person dey.
Why are you whispering on TV?
You and the person, they're almost on the same level. But unfortunately, you now realize that you and this person don't be on the same level in terms of emotional capacity, in terms of considering one another. You are not on the same level, and you will see it play out, especially when a third party comes in, your child or other family. You will just see some of these things. Then you hold space for that person. I've seen women, and it's not like I'm excusing the men, right? It is bad behavior to have a child and you're not thinking of that child. I do not excuse it in any way at all. Growing up now, they used to come and steal us from school sometimes when, you know. And there was this family.
You did not finish that sentence.
Member. No, leave it.
Okay.
I remember I'm not supposed, I don't want to share it.
Okay.
That anytime he goes, that separates from, had several wives, or several wives,
women.
baby mama, and women, rather. Anytime he separates, he tells you, if you carry this pikin, come off for here. Don't bring this child back. Because once that child is not raised with him, he cannot connect.
Yeah.
He can never, even if the child comes back after how many years, he finds it difficult to connect.
So,
And for the sake of the children,
they leave the child.
they left their children. They left their children.
So there are two,
They left the children with the
ways
father.
to look at that
They left the children with the father.
Yes, they left the
So
children
there are
with
two
the
ways
father.
to look at women like that.
Okay.
I mean, there are two different women. There are those who would leave that because they feel that the father's
the
role
capacity.
is very important.
Yeah.
Or maybe even has the financial capacity to take care of
raise
the
the
child,
children.
to raise the child. But then there's another who says, I may not have as much as he has, but you, my child, you will always know your mother. I will be there so that you will know that I was there for you. Because the truth is, women have made some sacrifices, good or, you know, on this side or on that side, and somehow
are
it
still
takes
the
the
one that
grace of
carry everything.
yes, it takes the grace of God for the child to even understand.
Remember.
If you leave this child with the father, it's like you left me. You know the sort of man he was.
And you abandoned
know the
me
sort
here.
of-
And if
you
you carry him
abandoned
away, they'll
without
say
a
you don't
mother,
let
and
me
I
have
have
the
a mother that is
relationship.
alive. Then if you take the child with you, it's like you denied me of my father's love. So the thing is,
Whichever way.
difficult.
a woman,
Mama go carry am.
that's why I feel that the respect for a mother and a woman is...
No.
Okay, so
I'm
leaving
honest.
a child
have
with
to
the dad,
respect.
the risk is very, very high because the father will
Both
maybe get
ways.
married
It's
to
both-
another woman,
both
and
ways.
that's where you have stepmothers.
Both ways.
And then there's that maltreatment.
There's stepfathers too that molest
Maltreat,
children.
yeah.
Both ways, though. It's just the grace of God that you are able to really pay attention. And sometimes, for the women, most of the time, they sacrifice their relationships. They won't date.
Yeah.
They will not date. They will not bring any man home because they don't want wahala till the child gets to a certain age. Maybe they now go to boarding house and all. So they sacrifice that aspect of their lives. Men don't do that sort of sacrifice because they will explain to you that they need somebody to cook for them. They need somebody to rub their back. They're always needing somebody. Even while they are putting their wife in the grave, there's a sissy beside rubbing back and saying, "Cry well, oh, don't worry, she's going to heaven." You know. So women sacrifice a lot when it comes to that, and that's why I would expect that as you are growing up to become a woman, you are ready for the decisions that you are making. As you are opening your leg, you are ready for the decisions
help us.
that come with it.
Yes.
You know
Mistakes
what?
can happen
Yes,
too.
because-
And life can also happen.
Yes,
But if you
where-
intentionally do this, now you all know.
Many
Even
of
as
us...
a married woman, you need to even be very careful because even this marriage is not, there's
You
no
can still
guarantee.
pack up.
You can pack up. So you need to have you need to have money so that in case when it packs up, you'll be able to take care of the number of children that you bring to life.
Yeah,
Don't go and be giving birth to 6, 7, 8, 9.
Yeah,
and
because
then
there's money.
You understand?
Life happens, and I don't know how many of us were as aware or intelligent as we are now in our 20s, as teens. Some of us, even the men that we are married
them.
to, it just so happens that it worked out.
Yeah.
Because if we were to look at the way that you did the choosing, it would have been really stupid. So life happens.
Yeah.
But the thing is, when life has happened, that you're learning from it and you're doing better. And in conversations like this is where we're also talking to men as well as the society in general. A man can make many mistakes and somehow we forgive them.
Find a
We're
way,
constantly forgiving them. He's a young boy. How old is he? He's in his 20s. Oh, he's a man. You know, oh, he's a celebrity. There's always a reason why a man can get away with bad behavior. But the woman, you're a woman.
You should know better.
You should have known better.
Yeah.
And I just feel that we need to give people more grace. We need to have more understanding. And people, I've seen that people learn better from when we show them grace.
Yeah.
When we show them that, you know, there's a different way. Because it's not just about her, it's about the many different women younger than her that are watching how we're treating this woman, you know. So in this Davido Sophia's case, for me, it's not as, I'm not seeing two bad people, I'm seeing two people who are misunderstanding each other. And I think that their focus should come back to the child.
Yeah.
And for this, make the sacrifices needed on both ends for the sake of the child.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah, and that of the same thing I would say, like YK reminded us, that the attention should be, what would the child, how would I want my child to grow up, and not giving trauma to that child as well. On comments that we've seen on on
can try and
YouTube,
take some messages.
yes, in taking those messages, I would say that the place says, yes, take your child, but don't deny the father access to the child. Maturity is knowing how to co-parent without drama. And Jojo says Davido will turn his back on her, and nothing the law can do to the Adelekes. We will sit and watch her cry on social media. Let Sophia take heed enough of the noise, according to the place. Hafsat said the child grew
unsympathetic.
Yes, very unsympathetic. But because we know the way in Nigeria, powerful people tend to get away with doing anything they want to do.
Yeah.
I remember the time when the lady there was the drama with the former Minister of Aviation. Oh, what's this man's name? There's this...
Which one?
It went viral that the woman was saying she didn't have access to her children. And it was because when you're very powerful in Nigeria, when you are very influential in Nigeria, you tend to get away with things that on a normal day you probably would not get away with. So I understand. It doesn't mean it is right, but that's
she also comes from quite an influential family,
clout
right?
as well. She has a bit of influence, being that she's we don't know the. I just know that she's a niece to Adedeji Momodu, and
at least it gives her some clout.
Leverage. Oluwabankole says, how many children Davido won't take care of? Yes. Fanikayode had a lot of drama with
baby mamas or wives.
With the wife and children, and it was really dramatic. Somebody else said, how many children do Davido wants to take care of? I don't know. As many as he has.
He's birthing.
Yes. As many as he can have.
Exactly.
He can take care of them. People are there are negative comments from Davido.
Let me because I just remembered now.
Sophia.
Yes, when Miriam made comments, was giving an example of probably she wanted to, or she was having a program in school, and then it's Davido's turn to. I now remember that when you're two partners in raising the children, it's easy to make excuses. Daddy can't be here. Even when the child is in cities, daddy I want, daddy can't be here, daddy has to work, I'm coming, right? And you don't see it like you are overdoing because two of you are in a loving relationship. Now, when you're not in a loving relationship, that's when you're separating it. But Oga Kombo, she wants to see you, you have to be there. I don't care whether you're doing a concert or not, she wants to see you, have to be there. If he was your husband in the house, will you tell him to leave the meeting? That would probably build him money.
Okay.
Or even the other way as well, So it's just about understanding. When you're able to put the child's needs first, even when you call, because the truth of the matter is, this man now is building another home. That presence that you want for your child, he will not be able to give you to the extent that you want it, except you are not being reasonable. Because he now has another woman. If the woman was like you, constantly calling him, he will not see space to smile at you. There are some women. I'm just saying. If the woman in the house, if the woman in the house is as forceful and territorial as you are, he may not even have an opportunity to see your child.
Okay.
I
get what you're saying. But remember, we're talking of someone he's not in a marriage with. So I'm not talking of two wives. We're talking of someone
one is outside and one is inside.
And there's a child
involved. The same thing.
Good. My question is, you're saying that he may not have the time to give your child.
Yes.
It's his child.
I know.
He should carry the child and put in his...
You are forgetting the woman factor in the house.
No, that's what I'm saying. Now remove husband, daddy, babies, whatever, and put father.
Yeah.
Why would you give less to this child?
They happen.
I know that they happen. What I'm saying is that you can try. Listen to what I'm trying to ask. Is that yes, this is something that happens that we are accepting.
Yes.
Can we change the narrative? Can we make people see that
he try and balance it?
Yes, he can.
That should be the goal.
He does not need the mother for him to give his daughter
The best.
more of that he needs to give her. Even if it's presence.
Yeah.
What if he's constantly going for the children of the one in the house for their activities and never makes the time for this?
But that will happen.
No,
It will happen.
No,
It will happen.
Listen,
I just want to
listen,
say
listen,
reality.
listen.
It will happen.
My
It will,
expectation.
We applaud them,
it will
other baby
happen.
papas.
It will
Honestly.
happen, but
Wait, let her land her
it will happen. I'm not saying it will not happen.
Okay.
It will even happen on the other end
As well.
But it will happen if we also understand that it can happen because issues happen. Not it will happen, so take it. Or that is how it happens.
No. I'm not saying take it.
You know, no, that's what a lot of times when we discuss,
push
that's
that.
what we push. That's what we say. Take it. It may happen. Manage it. You know, what we see, or in both movies at least, I don't know their realities, is that the co-parenting involves father, mother in the house and the one outside.
Yes,
so that
together.
this child does not feel excluded, does not feel that daddy is doing so much more for those who are right beside him. And that is why they talk about the compromise between the parents. Because if you are in his way too much, he may not be able to include this child with the other children.
Yeah.
So, but because we always say it as if it's a given that the man will not really be there because he's starting another family, that's not a healthy
But how
thing.
is
that's
it
the
there
society.
as Nigeria?
Miriam, but
Let me
that's
take
the
this call,
society.
please. Then
Miriam,
I'll
that's
come
the
to two of
society.
you.
That's what the
We
society
have
tells us.
Nina
Who is the society? Is
from
it not
Jos.
us?
All of us, but we can't. He's not the video
Nina
that will
from
change.
Jos. You people will face the wall. Oh.
Sorry.
Nina from Jos. Oh, sorry about that.
So can we
Yes.
ask how Flavor is doing his own? Because Flavor has baby mamas.
No, they don't come on social
They don't come on
media.
social, so you don't know.
How is Timaya doing his own?
Oh, no.
How is Wizkid managing his own?
We don't know.
So I think at the end of the day, the reason we are discussing Davido is because they have
bring
brought
it
their
out.
matter to us. And sometimes, when you say it's inside your house that you will eat the kidiko, like there's a Yoruba proverb that you will eat it inside your house. It's not when you bring it outside, you make everybody, you put your life and your story into
Everything.
everybody will be chiming in what they want to. To a large extent, the family unit is too important. And if we don't get it right in the family unit, we have children that have dysfunction, traumatic children that are throwing trauma into the next generation.
Yep.
So it's important that protect your family, get the healing necessary, get the support necessary in-house. When you bring on social media, majority of those that are out there, they're not after your interest.
Yeah.
They're just after, we want topics
They're
to
catching
discuss
cruise,
about.
yeah.
I want to know
Yeah.
your story.
So thank you, ladies. What we are taking out of this is make the child the focus.
Yeah.
Child-centered, yes. Whatever you have to do, if you have to swallow your pride with ogbono soup, please do that for the sake of the
Ogbono soup
child.
is expensive now.
Yes, we try okra then, but probably something draw to swallow the pride and the ego.
Yeah.
That's all we can take on this segment. When we come back, we take yet another topic. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So we saw another story on social media from Kel Thoughts, and this story goes: I sent my wife packing last month, and instead of her to go to her parents' house, she went to stay at her friend's place. I heard that she just rented her own apartment. I was hoping for her to come and beg with her parents, but nothing. I was worried, so I called her parents to find out what was happening. And they said I should finalize the divorce fast. They asked for my account number to send the bride price into. I'm confused because when they sent my sister packing some time ago, we went to beg and settle with her husband. I didn't mean to divorce her. I just wanted to teach her a lesson. Will I sound stupid if I do? I don't want to lose my wife. I just wanted to teach her a small lesson. Biko, advise me. Biko, what advice do we have for this man who decided to send his wife packing because he wanted to teach her a lesson? Let me come to the ladies. What are your thoughts on this?
Someone commented on that post. He said, you want to teach somebody a lesson that you need to learn. So he was trying to
Ouch.
teach her a lesson, and he got
Lesson.
schooled. He got schooled while trying to teach somebody a lesson.
Hey.
I said, if you don't want to do something, don't smell it. If you don't want divorce, then why do you send your wife packing? Because in the first place, the idea of you sending your wife packing means
That you're tired.
You are willing to, and you know, another thing, it's another indication of you don't know how well you are standing. You're not balanced. You're not started jumping. You never balance. You have not carried yourself very well. You're now trying out things. Because I feel that if the relationship was on a very great note, maybe has relationship with the in-laws, the reaction would have been different. So people are already waiting for you
To mess up.
They want you to lose. You now decide to forget. You block your ear. So you've given them opportunity to take advantage of what they want to do. So I feel really bad for him because I guess he copied wrong.
Yes.
You know, he had a template, and the template
And then when he was pasting it, he just scattered.
terrible. It's a funny story.
What do you think about this?
So he's seeking for solution, right?
Yeah.
So what I'm just going to tell him is Gashina Abung has come to his face. So what he needs to do is he should go and beg. He should go and beg. And Islamically, if you just pronounce divorce, whether you mean it or you don't mean it, it stands.
Oh.
Jokingly or not, it stands. So she must spend that 3 months.
Which is good.
Outside
3
the
months
house.
outside the house. She
Yay.
must do it
Yay.
before she comes back. So you don't even joke with it. So you need to be very sure before you pronounce it.
Yeah, I agree.
You have to be very sure before you pronounce it. So the only thing he can do is, like I said, he'll go and beg and maybe carry another bride price and top up.
Yeah.
In USD this time around.
You gotta top up. Yes,
You know why
you should
I
just
like
do top
that?
up.
Do you know why I like that in Islam? Is that it teaches you how powerful words are.
Yes.
That there are some boundaries or there's a line that you should not cross. Some people throw that divorce word up and down and say,
Anyhow.
you know, and you have commonized it in your conversations with your partners to the point that it means nothing. And, but, you know, I found it funny because there are two things that made me laugh. Because, you know, in many ways you can relate. When he says, I'm confused, you know, I just felt like, bros, many of us have been in those confusing situations where you've done something and you think the outcome is different from what you expect. But, you know, I just went to go and check a few quotes for you about when you feel stupid, what you should do.
Yeah, well.
And I like this one. It says, it's okay to look stupid than to be stupid. And what it means is that you may look stupid. You want your wife back. You didn't mean for her to leave. And so going back to ask, you may look stupid, but the wise thing to do is what you are going to do, which is to go and ask for your wife back and have the conversation of, you know, was not the outcome that I was expecting. I was hoping that this issue, we have dealt with it so much, and I was hoping that if I had gone this far, it would push you, it would make you realize that we have, you know, it has gotten to a point where I could not take it anymore. I didn't really mean for you to leave. And then she can say to you, next time, for me, these words are so important to me that the moment you say it, I will take you seriously. So then you learn in your conversations with each other that this is not a word that you throw around.
You throw around, though.
You know, because for some people it's easy. I go divorce you, I divorce you. I go throw you
I go throw you.
And you laugh about it. In other homes, it means nothing. They laugh about it. But in another home, when you say D, especially those English-speaking houses, divorce. You said the divorce word.
You said the D word.
You said the D word, and so it's done. Uncle, however you beg, they say, we have it on camera, we have it on this, we show it in court. So please, just learn. So I think communication is important. You know our way, culturally, there's a way that we do things, even with the way we raise our children. We use some words we're not meant to use because we hope that they would respond a different way. And then when they respond the way we have the word, we are shocked. See this foolish child, put it on my head. Bring water.
And then
the child puts it on your head. You're in
head.
trouble. So let's learn, you know, who we are with each other, the sort of communications that, you know, is enriching. That is, and there's a word that
Well, you're saying this when we're watching there was a clip on TV during Wake Up Nigeria that we're saying that this kind of conversations, we shouldn't normalize it within our country.
Yeah.
Where people use foul language. Oh, carry your stupid head away.
Yeah.
Or like you just use, and it's in your mind, you think it's a normal thing.
Yeah.
That's the same thing, like, oh, pack your load and go.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, pack my load and I go, and you're wondering, why did I pack my load and go?
Yeah.
We should be careful of what we say, that what we're saying must edify, and what we're saying we can stand by it with your full chest, that if anything happens, I can take the repercussion. This man has said something now that he was thinking will have a different result.
And there's a reason why he did it.
Yes, there was a template he had seen. So sometimes you see some things, you go to some house and you see a reaction a man says, if you don't kneel down and give me the food, you will leave this house. And then the woman kneels down. You go to your house and say, if you don't kneel down and give me the food, you will leave this house. The woman carries her bag
and pours on your head.
Or carry it. You'll be wondering,
she left.
but my friend said it like this.
He wants to how they left it.
And they knelt down. How come when I say it to my other?
That is not how Richard Davido did it in the movie. In the movie, when he said it, you pack out. She came back and she was begging.
When he divorced her, he sat and he was waiting for them to come. I'm very sure he just go and open the door and be looking out for the parents.
No,
they come. They've not come.
What
They've
he
not
saw
come.
was
That's
the
why he
text
has come
message
out.
saying, send us your account
number.
details.
Hey, God, I'm big.
Oh my God.
So,
Honestly.
I think he overrated himself.
Wow.
This overconfidence, we just all need to check it from time to time. Because I've realized in this life, nobody's indispensable. Anybody can be forgotten.
Yes.
Anybody can be done away with. So when you get to that point where you now feel you are now the otokinadu, the all in all, I can do this. Once you remove me, it will never be the same again. I change your life. Once you, it will shock you. Secondly, I also feel he was not sensitive. So you know how a lot of women take some things and they are silent about it? Probably because they do not have a voice, or just for peace sake, they are not able to pursue a matter to a logical conclusion. They just leave it. And then you ignore those signs. They let it go. Every small misbehavior, they let it go. I'm sure this is not the first time he's saying this. He may have been saying it, and this particular time, this woman say, enough is enough. And when you start saying things like that without any, people are not reacting. Right? You think they are letting the matter go. Not everybody lets the matter go. They now start making other plans and start finding other options.
Yes.
So any small thing where I do, this man go say, make I pack my things. Or this man go say, because now they give me money where they spend. Or because now they do this one. People now start, you give them ample time to prepare themselves. They now start keeping things, start making plans. And so that one day, maybe I've said it 12 times, the 13th time, the person is done. The person is ready. This one just showed the readiness.
Let me tell you. You know why I'm laughing?
Why?
This is the sort of person who will check her account one day and say, my wife has millions of
so.
dollars.
Yes, so.
Meanwhile, he has forgotten, he has been telling her, pack your load and leave the house.
We have a caller.
You know before he...
Obonaya from... Good morning, Obonaya, Anambra State. Good morning.
Okay, I'm just listening to your discussion.
Thank you. Can you speak up,
His
please?
wife to leave his house. My take on this is that it's obvious that the man is not doing well. Because if he's doing well, even his in-laws will not support his wife. And but as it is, I think the woman has ever had enough of him.
Yeah.
So even if he's going back to bed, I think he's going to live in perpetual slavery for the rest of his life, because his ego as a man has already been deflated, because the woman has had enough of him. And so for her to comfortably move on with her life, rent a house, and his in-laws says, facilitate divorce, means from the beginning, the relationship is very faulty. He has either not been treating her very well, and the in-laws are tired of him, and the wife is also tired. So the best thing is for him to make his move and move on with his life. The wife is tired. If he brings her back, then he doesn't have a say in that house anymore. He has lost his place as a man. That's my take on this.
If she's a strong woman who knows her worth, you know, sometimes we start waking up into who we really are, right? In that marriage, yes. And she's come to a point where she now knows what she wants and what she doesn't want, what she can take and what she cannot take. When he now comes back, probably because of the sake of the children, she decides, okay, he's coming back to his senses. Let me consider him. They will now bring out a long notebook. You will not do this again. You will not do that again.
Yes,
you will not do this again. Yes. And you will sign. Because anyone you do here now, I will carry my things and that is it. The man will now realize that, oh, so these are some of the things you've been taking, you didn't like, but you didn't have a choice, probably because of how we started that marriage. And, you know, it will humble him. It's a humbling moment for him. And if he's really serious about keeping his home, it's a lesson he should learn. Yeah.
And you know, before you pronounce that divorce, you're even supposed to have gone to meet maybe her parents.
You're supposed to meet, you know,
He just
report her,
want triumph, small
and,
play.
You know, play don't turn to Yazama Abung, Yazama Ganga.
So, like Bisi said, reevaluating the relationship. I think that sometimes they said when you almost There's a word when you have a near-death experience, like when you confront death, you come back from it with a new appreciation of the life you have.
Yeah.
Similarly, when you confront a near, like a divorce,
Near separation.
divorce experience, you will come back to realize how beautiful your marriage is.
True.
So I do not think that there's anything wrong with him, you know, taking the humble pie and going to meet his wife, because like I now understand what I had and I don't want to lose it.
Yeah.
It does not belittle him. It doesn't mean that she will now become proud in that marriage, because who knows what she's also thinking in her mind. So you might be thinking in your mind that she has moved on completely, but she's thinking in her mind that if this man can do this to me, if I go back and beg him, the day he would throw me out again, I might not have the money to even find my footing. So it's a moment for both of them to come back together and reassess the marriage that they have, appreciate the marriage. They've got to near death, they've seen it. This is what it would look like if we go apart. And do we like it? Can we find a way to make it work better? I think it's an opportunity for them that many marriages never get. Many marriages would have gotten far better if they had that near divorce experience and they're able to come back from it. So I think this is a good...
We don't have to get there.
I pray that
we don't know,
I think don't appreciate life until we're almost
yes, we're there.
In life, they'll give you, they say, eat healthy. Don't drink this one. When they give you red card, when you go for text and they tell you your test that you are quarter to die, all of them will now start. So the near-death experience usually has a
But you know what
I just pray that
remember with women as well. Haven't you heard of women who leave the house because we're hoping the man will come and
beg them?
2 weeks. And she eats the humble pie. She
carries her bag.
She goes back and he opens the door. He sees her.
You are back.
And he lets her in quietly. And life continues. But then you find in situations like that, when they talk about each other, they'll be like, don't ever use the D word with my wife. Or that's the end. Because I've learned lessons.
Yeah.
She'll be like, never threaten to leave because that is the end. So you learn something. You know how they say that it's in tough situations that, just as you said, that growth happens.
Yeah.
So marriages, you know, many times when we talk about marriages, for those who are young and unmarried, I don't want them to think that it's always boom, 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 boom. Love, hate, fights, no fight. You know, we have fun sometimes. Sometimes this sort of stories we're laughing about because in different ways they have played out in our homes.
Yes, so we've seen
funny,
it.
yes.
I have my own story.
And we move from there, we grow from there, we become better spouses to each other from this sort of thing.
Yeah, let's take a breather here. When we come back, we wrap up the conversation. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So I have a comment here from Akanitai. We say, Joke Pato, the in-law self need to be checked. How fast that can they be? The Lola says, no, not Lola. There's another one. Mr. Pepple says, even with culture, bride price isn't just returned like that. The in-law self get winch. So it's very possible that the in-laws are already tired.
Well, let me read this.
Okay, read another one.
See how some people think. Ogumola Emmanuel says, relationship is a mind game. And the one with the upper hand controls the relationship.
Oshe.
The man just lost his leadership and position as the head because he played a wrong card and has to be the one begging now. He overestimated himself.
Yes, he did.
Maybe the wife is also playing his game. So that's why I was saying earlier that marriage is not always like that. Sometimes we have fun, sometimes we make mistakes, and it's not a card you play your card. Or maybe I'm just the one that sees life that way.
No, I think so. I think that for healthy marriage requires that there are those middle grounds where
you don't push people to.
I did not know that you were going to react like that. You know, like I'm not cooking for you today. I'm not cooking for you this weekend. Don't touch me throughout this week. Uncle, it's already Friday. But you say don't touch. I did not mean it like that. I was just saying don't touch. Like I was thinking,
not with pack out of my house.
Probably that's what he misses.
No, not with pack. So there are some jokes we should not do or should not give. There are some jokes that are extreme, and you don't know how the joke touches on the person's insecurity.
Yes.
The person could have come from a home where the father is always chased. Let me give you people an instance. So every time my father got upset when I was growing up, he said, "You will leave my house. You will leave my house."
Who will he tell you?
Yeah, me.
Oh, okay.
No, he was telling everybody, but he would tell me too. So one day I decided to run away because they kept saying I should leave their house.
Yes.
I ran. I think I've shared that story. Got to the police station.
Oh, okay.
Stayed all day, you know. When they now came to report a missing person, they now saw that was the last time he said it. Because that sort of was hitting something. Why would my father say I should leave his house because he's upset? And then tomorrow he comes back again and remembers I'm his first daughter. I wasn't having it. So, and even in my relationships, there are some jokes I don't take. From the beginning, I clear you. No go here, because you will not like what you will see at the other side. So maybe that also hits. So we also need to pay attention to our people to see what they can take and what everything is not play.
Yesterday, Shonake says communication and control is important in relationships. Throwing a woman out is very humiliating to the woman.
Yes,
and I think that a lot of our Nollywood movies
show that.
Or skits on social media make it look like, oh, I sent her packing.
Yeah,
I sent her packing. From which house?
Yes.
And the tide is changing. So sometimes we are giving men a template that is wrong on how to deal with a situation they are feeling.
Yeah.
If you are uncomfortable with your wife, you have a conversation. But because the template you have seen on social media back to back and movies is that you send packing, then the woman comes back and beg. You will think you will run that same program in your house. But your wife has a different template. So I think it's important that we build the resilience and the capacity to iron out tough discussions. Like this
Without going to the extreme.
We will not insult each other, but like, I don't agree with this one. This is what I believe should have been done. These are the ways we could have done it. These are options. We will be discussing it like back to back and no insults. There is no, I don't belittle you, but we are able to discuss and then we now laugh at the end of the day and say, okay, I see your point.
Yeah,
like we discussed on this show.
You know, I think I might have mentioned it to you that one of the issues I used to have with older Nollywood movies, things have changed, was that our conversation was fight and laugh. Like there's no in between anger and joy. Just everything
is fight.
Basic emotions.
There's nothing in between. No nuances, no jokes, no whatever. And that is what we carry into our house. So that's why someone may think it's a card game. I play my card, you play your card, this last card, this, you know, because that's what we see constantly around us, all the movies that we watch. But there are different forms of, there are different emotions. There are different kinds of communication. Not all communication about something you don't like has to be in anger. Not all communication about something you don't like has to be end in fight. You know, there's some communications you can have that is casual, but you still send the message.
Or threats.
Yeah, not everything has to be a threat. You know, we can still show our displeasure for things without it being overly exaggerated. And I would like to see more of that, you know, in our conversations in Nollywood movies and even the skits, because even those tough, exaggerated conversations, what we laugh at is supposed to be
so
funny.
we normalize it.
And we have normalized it so much that
it goes into the subconscious
a woman goes
and
into
you
a
think that's
relationship
normal.
and the man is not saying, get out with your big head. We don't think he loves, she does not think he loves her.
But this one could be a step. You know, the way he said the divorce, yes, and now he has learned his lessons. I just pray that he will not let his ego play. He should just...
No, the way he's sounding,
yes.
I'm sure
he missed a lot of things.
He will miss her.
He don't miss. Maybe no food.
He came on social media to say...
Abu Adin is not happening.
Nobody's disturbing him, nothing.
The other room activities
it's not happening.
It's not happening. You're like, please.
Nobody to gist with, nobody to lament with, nothing. No.
So, yeah.
Somebody said, the play says, you send Percy where fit buy house packing. They play.
They play. They are playing dangerous play.
Yes, well, that's another level. We have to tell the truth. So, the women of now, they're not like before. There are some things that you cannot use to threaten them again. Let me just tell you this secret. You cannot use house to threaten them again. They have houses. Or they have enough money in their account to get the house. Or they have one house that they have been renting on the side because you have been throwing that word and they are waiting for you to make the mistake so that they
move in.
They can pay the children's school fees. They can travel. So you need to be careful. This young boy says
calm down.
This is a new breed of women.
I'm telling you.
Not like your mother's type.
They are taking no prisoners.
Yes.
I had a friend recently who threatened me. We just she was explaining some things and we got into a bit of an argument. And the next thing she said, well, no, if he's going to scatter, let it scatter. We will not even be friends again. I just I said, are you threatening me? Because there's only one way I react to threats.
Fight.
Yeah. No, not fight.
Take it.
I move. Yes, I walk away. So I asked the guest, is this a threat? Are you actually threatening me?
No,
she not cut herself.
It's a threat, it's a promise.
That's
We are done. And we are done now.
And then they leave.
And I walk away.
And you know why I would respond that way? Because I see it's a Nollywood movie.
Yeah.
They will not show where, like, no, I didn't mean it was as a threat. I was just trying to express myself. But I know that once they say it's a threat, you say it's not a threat.
It's not a threat, it's a
promise.
It's a promise.
There we go.
And
Then the music that will play at the background.
We're watching the movies, we
left.
are watching the skits, and we're accepting this narrative and this conversational style as our norm or our culture. And sometimes we just end up saying it. You know the way they say that when you were growing up, you end up, as an adult, you end up saying the things your mom said or saying the things your father said.
Yes.
Disciplining your children and
The
they are
same way.
repeating the line your parents said. For you to know how, and these
How
are things
deep
they said 20, 30
it goes.
years ago.
Yeah.
And yet,
It's
when
there.
you want to discipline them, I will give you backhand. You are.
Where did you get
Where did you hear how to give backhand?
From your mom.
Or I'll conk your head. It's not knuckle. It's the
It's
conk
conk.
you use because that was what you heard.
True.
So we need to. Our movies need to show more wholesome content.
Yeah.
Series should show more wholesome content. Let's have content that shows family being happy, and let's stop laughing unnecessarily over silly things that we will not take ourselves. If you see somebody slapping or beating or pushing somebody out of the house and we're laughing at it on social media, it means that, and you cannot take it. Somebody is sowing a seed in somebody's life, and they might end up doing the same thing as well. So it's just being careful.
So-
Oga, go and beg your
Oga, go and beg your wife. Bring her back.
Swallow your pride, though.
Swallow your pride.
Everybody has to swallow
No
pride
ego.
from
Bring
today's
your
show.
wife back.
Swallow the pride and beg your
Ms
wife.
Sophia
Yeah.
and Davido
Yeah.
is a swallowing pride
Yeah.
situation.
Everybody just needs to calm down. Stop using such words
Ego is the enemy.
to,
Ego.
to just bamboozle your wife because you bought house. If, in fact, as a matter of fact, now they're supposed to kick come up for the house. Who they sweep the house? Who they clean them? Who they care for? You know how the plumbing work they go.
What's good.
Exactly.
You're going to come back to the house now and be sweeping and cleaning and cooking.
and take
because you have
over
not done anything since she's like,
Yeah, exactly. I'm
I've
sure.
not done anything.
I'm sure he
Plates,
did
I'm
not.
sure there are plenty places.
So
to
that's
see.
kind of thing. There was a scene I did in Mamejiro then. After he misbehaved, by the time he came to beg, he massaged me.
yes.
I put my leg on the chair. He massaged me. He cooked for me. He
Yes,
fed me.
that's how it should be.
That was his punishment.
Breakfast.
It's still too small, but
We can manage it, because of love, we can manage it. Thank you so much, ladies. It's been fun. We've had fun today on the issues, and the takeaway, like Tokwe finalized, is that we all need to eat the humble pie. We all need to bring ourselves, especially when we're dealing with our partners, hold space for them, understand, and make sure that the child is the one that we are, putting first in every of our decisions. And by the grace of God, we'll pull through, on the co